Hello, FCA families. My name is Noah Brink, and welcome once again to our From the Silo series. Last episode, I referenced the survey that I sent out at the beginning of the summer, in which I asked questions about who we are as a school. And one of those questions was, what do we absolutely need to make sure that we keep doing? And one of the items that showed up over and over and over again is our back to school camp. And that's one of the things I want to talk about today, back to school camp. Why does it fit with who we are as a school? I think that most of us realized that it was a joyful way to start our school year. And as I entered into the school and asked lots of questions, I asked about camp, and it wasn't from a place of skepticism. It was more from a place of getting to really understand who we are as a school. And most of the answers to those questions align perfectly with the very things I wanted to hear, that it's a way for us to build community. That's core to who we are. It's a way for us to build connections across grade levels. Yes, I love that. It's a way for us to nurture a community of worship. One of the things that was shared to me that I thought even was most unique is that we want to make sure that our students are known by their teachers outside the classroom before they're known inside the classroom. And even there, what's clearly understood is that we're more interested in who our students are, that we recognize that the task of education is not just a cognitive endeavor only. It's not just an academic learning endeavor. It's a whole person learning endeavor. That we want to have our students learn that their whole person does, and then we recognize that learning happens best when students are known actually who they are. What a beautiful reason for doing camp. Yes, I think that we saw that camp was fun. We want school to be fun. We want students to look forward to coming to FCA. And yet, I think that we sometimes don't understand the full reason why we're so committed to camp. It's an expensive thing. It's something that is inconvenient for some of our families and some of our programs. That maybe you could say it even delays some of the academic endeavors of our school. And yet, we all know that it is an important, vital part of who we are as a school. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to share with you some of the things that I began to learn about the beauty of camp here at FCA.
Hi, my name is Will. I'm a senior here. Throughout camp, our grade as a whole had the opportunity to build and morph into being a separate group of friends and individuals, but over that time we really began to collectively organize ourselves for one purpose and one goal. And starting in almost at the end of school last May, we had one focus, and that was to provide a camp and to bring on this whole week for our school. And throughout that, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of things to build off of, but the unique experiences and different problems that you have to go through with all your people is really life-changing. And you go from different cliques and groups being all together to, over that week, everybody working with each other, working in separate groups of maybe something that you would never have seen before. It's really special and something you don't see in much other places in our school.
Hi, I'm Amaray Dawson and I'm a senior here. I've been here since my sophomore year, so this was actually my second camp that I got to attend. And what I found to be really, really important was arts and crafts. That was my responsibility, and I worked with Carter and Chase Getman to really bring all of that together. And we had kids in there all the time making bracelets, making friends, making beads. And it was just super awesome for us because we sort of tend to run a little bit more on the loner side, to see all of these loner kids sort of getting together and being friends. And at the end of the day, they always left this massive mess, and so we would stay behind and we'd clean up for hours. But it was worth it because at the end of the day, we had kids coming up to us like, hey, look what I made. Hey, I want to help you guys clean. And it was just so sweet to get to see the way the lower schoolers really look up to us, and even the younger high schoolers.
Hi there, Dan Ritchie here from FCA. I wanted to give you a few minutes conversation about just how important camp has been to our senior class. So as both a staff member of 7 years, seeing senior class after senior class go through, but also experiencing that with my own students, my own kiddos a couple of times, from the day that they start camp planning, there's a collaboration that just starts to happen among seniors that I didn't see at the other grade levels. As they're growing and learning to interact with each other, they're having to make real decisions and work hard to make camp a success for the rest of school. And I get there every year with the first class that shows up, And I get to see how the seniors start unfolding camp from the minute they get there. Planning, preparing, negotiating who's going to do what, holding each other accountable. So many things that we want to see our seniors graduate with these life skills. And like no other thing that I've experienced, that happens in the 1 week of camp. They go to camp as individuals trying to figure each other out, and they come out having roughed out the areas that they need to just make it happen as a group. A combination of holding each other accountable, loving on each other, and just building each other up. Sleepless nights after staying up late and cleaning up after events that they've hosted all day, giving of themselves tirelessly as the second wing of kiddos come in after high school goes home, and having to do it all over again and just getting that energy up and doing hard things even when they're tired. It was just such an amazing experience. And above all that, the work ethic and the everyday skills that they grow, seeing them come together and just worship night after night, pour their hearts into other kids, give testimony in front of the school about relationships and faith growth and familial growth they've had over the years, it's second to none. You would be so proud to see what they do at camp and how they each grow. I just love all of them through the process of seeing them in this camp experience.
So one of the things that I believe you would have just heard is that, yes, camp is about building the larger community of our school. Yes, it is about nurturing a community of vibrancy, of building relationships across grade levels. But one of the things that I learned, and I don't think that it's readily understood, is that while camp is good for everyone, while it is good for all of our students, while it's good for the relationships between teachers and students, it's transformational for our seniors. In many ways, you could look at it as part of the beginning of this capstone year. And we start it by forcing our seniors into a place that for them is actually quite inconvenient. It's a time of stretching where they have to focus less on themselves and less on others. And as we have seen, our seniors are shaped not just by the preparation and the anticipation of camp, but by the getting into it and doing hard things. Yes, at FCA, we are committed to doing hard things. We are committed first and foremost to furthering Christ's kingdom by discipling students, and camp is clearly part of that. But at the very tip of this endeavor to disciple students, as we see, all of our students are discipled through camp. But it is an endeavor to disciple our seniors as they are going to be sent out. It is part of the way in which that we are filling up, as we've said, the silos of their heart. We're preparing them for the day that they will be sent out. We want to see them full. And that's why we do camp. We do camp because we see it as part of the transformation process. That was very much part of even the theme that this year the seniors chose. They chose a theme from Romans 12:2. It was their work, which I also think is unique about the way we've approached camp. It's not merely staff coming together. It was planned and executed. It was carried out thoughtfully by our senior class. What a huge endeavor. We should be deeply proud of them. And even they chose a verse, as Paul tells us that we are not going to be merely conformed to this world, but he wants to see us transformed by the renewing of our minds. I don't think it's coincidence that our senior class focused camp around this notion of transformation, because at the end of the day, that's what camp is a part of. It is a part of a program of our school committed to transformational discipleship. That's who we are here at FCA. That's why we do camp. That's why we do the myriad things that you see at our school, because we want to see our students' lives changed with the goodness of the gospel. That's why FCA exists, to further Christ's kingdom by discipling our students, that we may see their lives changed, that they may step bravely into the world, loving God and knowing who they are because of what they've experienced here at FCA.